Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Study Home. This is Samia Aziz, and here today we're going to learn about network diagram, how to create it, and how to analyze it. So there is a question and the details that are available to understand and to create a network diagram. So let's get started with it. Okay, so you in a table are watching these all available information that are needed by the diagram. We have set of activities. Any project, consider it's a project and it has A, B, C, D, E, F, G activities. All activities have their expected time in days. So these all times are not the actual times, consider it. These are the estimated times that an activity is expected to be completed on, and these are statistically estimated. Then we have immediate predecessor, and these are all the information about the activities that which activity is going to be dependent on which activity. So as in the mathematics we have learned the concept about predecessor and successor. So suppose number 1, number 2, number 3. So this is always the predecessor because it precedes number 2, and this is always a successor of 1 because it comes after 1. So as 1 is the predecessor of 2 and 2 is the predecessor of 3, and in that sense 3 is the successor of 2 and 2 is the successor of 1. So we have to understand this just because to understand the flow of a diagram. Now first we will understand from the table and then we will create it. So as you can see that the activity A is going to be completed in 7 days, its estimated time, and it has no immediate predecessor, which simply means that this activity is going to start now or from the start. We have activity B, which has 2 days to be completed in, and this comes after activity A. So it's simply this section is telling us the dependency on activities. So you will be able to know that which activity from here is dependent upon which activity over here. So as we see that A is going to start now, so this is a start now time, and this is activity A, which is having time 7. So we can give an arrow like from activity A start to activity A. Then if you look at here, then the next activity is B and its time is 2, and it is coming from A, right? So when A is completed, you can start anytime activity B. So you see here that I have given an arrow and have shown activity B is going to be started once activity A is completed. Third activity is C. It has time 4, which means that C is expected to be completed in 4 days, and it is also coming from activity A. So it means that activity B and C can be started simultaneously once activity A is being completed. So you are seeing here that 2 arrows have been dragged to B and C once activity A is completed. Now onwards, we are seeing that activity B and C. Okay, so here activity D, after C there is an activity D. We have written here activity D, and we have to locate it, that where from it is coming. Either it's coming from alone activity C or it's coming from B, but in case here we are seeing that its immediate predecessor is B, C together. It means that D activity cannot be started unless activity B and C are completed. So what we will do, we will put D after B and C, and we will give them a direction of an arrow. And now you can see that both B and C after completion we can start D. Then we have activity E here, and it has a time of 4 days for completion, and it is coming from activity D. Its immediate predecessor is D. So here is the D. We have to put activity after it, and we show its direction that after completion of D, we can start immediately activity E. Then we have activity F, okay, and it has 3 days for completion, and it is coming from activity E. So we have put here F after activity E, and we have to put an arrow for the direction, for the guidance, that after completion of E, you can start activity F. Then we have to see activity G. It is coming from its immediate predecessor E. You have to put the arrow, and we have to show this that activity G is coming from activity E. And altogether, on completion of both activities, simultaneous activities, the project is going to be finished. So this is the final thing that we have to do, that we have to bring the arrows to finish. Okay, so once the network diagram is finished, you can calculate you can create a critical path, and you can estimate the duration of the project. So this is how we can do calculation for a critical path. We have to identify the routes of the best routes of the project. So you can see here that there are only two routes. How? The route from A to B, then B to D, then D to E, then from E to F, and from F to finish. This is route 1. We can write here A and B, D, E, and F. So this is the first route. So if you add on the times, plus 2, 4, plus 4, plus 3 becomes 20. And we are calculating for the second route, which is from A to C, C to D, D to 4, D to E, E to G, and G to finish. So we will write here A, C, D, E, and G is equals to. Now we have to calculate the time. 7 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 will become 24 days. So among both, you have seen the highest time is of activity A for the route 2. Say this is route 1, this is route 2. So the highest time or the maximum time is for the route 2. So you call it a critical path. So the sign of the critical path is, first of all, this is the longest path, and this contains the time of the overall time of the project. So the overall time of the project is 24 days, and the project should be completed into 24 days. We should not delay it more than 24. So this always the longest route on the network diagram is the route that will let you know about the maximum time of the project. This is in the simplest terms that you can understand. So routes, as the more nodes, the more arcs, the more routes can be made, right? The more routes can be identified. So among 4 to 5 routes, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, choose the one with the maximum value, and that is going to be your critical path. So this is how you can make a network model into the simplest terms. There are the models also in the complex terms as well, where you can have two simultaneous values for the critical path. For suppose there are two critical paths which have 24 value, first route and some other route. So there's some other method for that, but for now keeping it very simple and keeping it to the basic terms, we are going to just learn that how a basic model is going to be created. So this is how it is going to be created. And now for select activity, for the each activity, this will be discussed in the other tutorial, because here we have just learned the basic method. We have completed these both, and to calculate the select we have to calculate these 4 times: earliest start, earliest finish, latest start, and latest finish, which we will learn in another video. And I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.